So it's Super League down at the Willows for the third consecutive Sunday. Salford City Reds at home to the Halifax Blue Sox, comfortably mid-table this season. The fixture that switched from the shade because they're having their pitch resurfaced. Halifax with nothing particularly to prove today, although the victory will undoubtedly come in handy. Top 5 slots in Super League seem to have taken care of themselves, even though there are 10 games to go. But it's the Salford City Reds, 4 home victories out of the last 5 home games. Darren Brown leads them out, and the team today: Broadbent at fullback, Pinkney, Webber, Tassel and Afire the 3/4, Blakely, Holroyd, Baines, Alker, Smith, Dickel, Brown and Wainwright make up the forwards and make up a team that's unchanged in 3 consecutive matches. Substitutes: Paul Sullivan, Craig Makin, Stuart Lickler and Paul Heighton. And what should be a cracking game of Super League Rugby League on a fine afternoon. It's cloudy and overcast, but it's comfortably cool this time, unlike some of the heat that we've seen recently. And Dan, well, you must be perhaps thinking that Halifax are slight favourites for this one.
Well, I don't know. They've had that one massive win against Huddersfield, but the last 2 weeks have been a bit disastrous for Gary Mercer's side. Firstly against Warrington, even though they had the possession against Castleford last week, they were unable to turn it into points, which is why Gary Mercer has made some changes. Martin Pearson relieved of his duties at the club this week, of course, after proving positive on a drugs test. Damien Gibson drops to full-back. Marnes, Florimore, Bloom and Golden are the 3/4. Dunneman and Cardis are the half-backs. Goldspink, Rowley and Hobson. Powerful front row. Mercer and Gannon in the second row. Moana at loose forward. Holgate, Foster, Savelio, 3 forwards on the bench with Phil Hassan. As Mercer eludes the first tackle. Halifax won here early in the season. Salford kept with them all the way. Just the last 20 minutes that told when Halifax ran away with it. Mercer making positional changes in the hope of beefing up the pack a bit and getting that penetration that they lacked against Castleford. Moving Cardis up to the half-back position. Gibson in his favoured number 1 spot. Kick over the top from Dunneman. Forces Pinkney back to his own line. Chase will be on with Marnes, but Pinkney does well to bring it back into play.
Yeah, that was a good first 6 from the Blue Sox, though, because they really controlled their play, went forward strongly into the Salford half, and the kick was judged to perfection and put Salford under pressure now. Ball pinch, says the referee. Who's it? So, referee. So the referees so there were some doubts about the fitness of Jason Nicholl and James Smith, but it's good to see them both out there today. Malcolm Alker gets off with a little run into the Blue Sox 30. Holroyd, Blakely, steps. Oh, nice little dummy, a nice little pass on, but the ball goes to ground. And what could have been a promising move switches all of a sudden to a potential attack here for the Blue Sox.
Well, Gibson might have been better to pass out to Bloom there, settling things down. Well, his teammates lined up, but Goldspink taking it off a short ball, not running from any real depth. And he's stopped by 4 Salford defenders. Rowley to Gannon. 3 prop forwards in the Halifax pack. Gannon dropping back into the second row, allowing Jamie Bloom out to centre. And with Florimore, should be a formidable defensive centre partnership. If it's put to the test, Moana, good ball out to Gibson. Gibson trying to go round the outside. Halifax in Salford territory. Cardis, nowhere to go. Last tackle. Dunneman just on the Salford 40, putting the kick through. It's bouncing up, and Pinkney did well to take it out of the air. Bloom almost got to that one. He was penalised for offside.
Well, referee very sharp on that one. But Pinkney's emerging to me, Darren, as one of Salford's most consistent players this season, not just on attack but on defence as well. Only a relatively little man in height, but he jumped well for that one. And with the penalty, Salford made ground, and now working it forward, but the tackling from the Blue Sox is good. Blakely switches it, nice little pass inside to Broadbent, but no way can he elude his tacklers. Bit of wrestling going on the floor. Fans not happy, referee gets on with it quickly though. Holroyd, the difficult pass not taken, and a tackle not made, and Halifax with a real chance. Broken play, always looking dangerous for Halifax.
Well, that's what Gary Mercer wants, a bit more urgency in the attack. But Halifax, he could throw a tea towel over them, they stood that close together. Goldspink offloads to Hobson, who had to slow down to take the pass, so the run wasn't as effective. He was easily tackled by the Salford defence. Rowley inside to Florimo, pushes away the first defender. Dunneman out wide. Halifax, well, Moana bringing it back inside. Good tackle from Malcolm Alka. Last one. Bloom chips through on the floor, plays football with it. Bounce up kindly for Broadbent there, but Bloom wrapping up Broadbent as he took the ball.
But that was good, concise attack from Halifax. Bloom really kicking forward with great intention and purpose, then going for it himself, and Broadbent did well to rescue the situation for Salford. 5 minutes gone, the crowd warming to the game. Players, I think, are starting to get into motion. Salford, well, it's Blue Sox who started the better to my eyes, but Salford have kept them out. Good long pass out to Nicol. Nice inside pass. Now there's a chance, and the pass goes on. Now here's a chance for the Salford City Reds. There are men over. Who's going to score? Is it Pinckney? Yes, it is. Fantastic try for the Salford City Reds. And what we've seen over these last few matches is that sort of flowing rugby. There were so many players involved. It went out to the right. Nicol makes a big difference, uses his strength and pace. And when the final pass came to Pinckney, there were 3 men in support. The Halifax defensive line had been broken, and that is a super try for the Salford City Reds. And it's Nick Pinckney again.
Well, it was. Halifax were poor in defence, but Salford were, the men in support could have gone either way. There were a 3-1 there. Damien Gibson trying to slow the play back, nobody getting back to help him.
And Blakely has now, that's his 11th consecutive goal out of 11 attempts. One, and obviously an easy one for him in front of the sticks, and 6 points to the Salford City Reds with their first real attack. The Salford City Reds have done that most important and vital thing. They've converted the attack into points, into tries, into a try under the sticks, and they've got the early lead. And the early lead is what we've seen several times in recent weeks down here at the Willows, and like the early part of the season when Salford didn't have a settled team, with Holroyd and Blakely forming a good partnership, and Pinckney's pace proving so important, and Gary Broadbent, his tenacity on defence, and Neil Baines, strong man, still on his feet, but the Blue Sox know his potential, his danger, and finally put him down. Holroyd, well, that's going for the 40-20, kick from inside the 40, but not going to make it.
Marnes brings it back in field to the 30, but the tackler's waiting, moving up quickly after the kick from Holroyd. Good chase from the Reds. Gibson bringing it out of defence again. Copped one. Well, he must have a long neck, or a short neck, sorry, if referee saw that as round the chest.
Oh, what's happened now?
There's one man gone down there. Referee's not stopping play. Florimo's gone to help out. It looked... there's a man in some distress there. Chris Tassel must have taken quite a knock. Trying to get the shirt off. He was in some discomfort when he went down, riding about.
Well, it was difficult to see what happened in particular. It was just a straightforward tackle, but what was good to see, you've got to really compliment Greg Florimore on showing his concern, recognising that Tassel's reactions were not that of a normal knock. And indeed, if you look at him now, the poor guy can't just stay on his feet. That is a sad sight. Whatever's been hit there, that's really not the guy for 6. Oh, you feel for him. And there's no way that he shall play any further part in this game, so Stuart Little will take his place. And the Salford City Reds fans will applaud Chris Tassel. Not for the sympathy for what's happening this minute, but also appreciation for his contribution to the Salford City Reds team in his first season down here at the Willows. And let's hope that doesn't turn out to be as serious as it looks just for the minute.
Certainly looks serious the way he went down. And as you say, Greg Florimore was quick to go to assistance. Blum coming back inside. Seeing that Halifax were being forced to that far touchline. Dunneman sends it back inside to Goldspink, unloads to Gibson. Dunneman's in the line again. Long pass from Dunneman to Florimore. Florimore steps 1 and 2. Gets over halfway. Dunneman turn it back to Hobson, who'll run directly down the middle, but that's a good tackle on the Halifax prop. Last tackle again. Dunneman testing out Pinknett and Broadbent. Ball bouncing awkwardly, but well done by Gary Broadbent, because he wasn't at the best angle to take the ball as it came down then.
No, a fantastic take from Broadbent, and saves another difficult situation for the Salford City Reds, because Halifax have had the better of it territorially. Oh, and now there's a chance for a try. It's a simple one. It's one drop pass and it's one soft try, and that is not what we've seen from the Salford City Reds in recent weeks. But easy enough. Mike Wainwright dropping the ball, and well, too easy.
Full ground, but not enough. Against the wind, holding it out to the right and upright. 12 minutes gone. The Salford Reds lead the Halifax Blue Sox 6 points to 4. Not the biggest of crowds, but they're making plenty of noise when it's needed. And Blakely to kick off. Goes for the long deep kick with Florimore watching it all the way out over the touchline. A penalty on the halfway line. Looked for a minute there as though Greg Florimore was going to make an effort for that. But out on the full, and a chance for Halifax to put some more pressure on that Salford line. From the 30, Hobson drives into 2. Ball played quickly. Florimore acting as an extra forward, driving it up to the 20. Halifax playing on this short side. Gibson takes it to about 11 metres away from the Salford line. Now they look for a bit more expansive, but Dunneman drops the short pass to Goldspink, and Halifax are within 7 of the Salford line. And stacking men on this right hand side again. Moana pops it up for Rowley, and there could be a chance here for Rowley. And the tackler, I think Steve Blakely, took a boot to the face as he went for that tackle. But Halifax had stacked men on the right hand side. They'd already made 3 tackles down this side. Then when they tried to drive it towards the post, looked as though they'd go to the left hand side, coming back to the right. A nice little pop up for Rowley, who strode through Blakely. Blakely obviously taking one in the face as he went through, which won't have helped him. But Halifax, 2 tries in 2 minutes and they lead 8 points to 6.
Yeah. And this time he misses again. So a let off somewhat for the Salford City Reds, because it could easily be 12-6. It's only 8-6, and let's hope this time the ball stays in play, because that try actually started from Blakely's kick-off, going straight into touch from the previous try. But the Blue Sox will be pleased that they turn around the early score against them to be 8-6 in front.
Gary Mercer will be happy but not too overjoyed. 2 fairly simple tries. Blakely keeps it well in field this time. Slips through Gibson, that's gone backwards. Well, the ball certainly went behind, travelling, but he's given Salford the benefit of the doubt.
And yeah, good decision for the Reds. A refereeing decision going in their favour. Pinkney's on his own. No way through for him. Former teammates aware of his danger. They've seen it today in his first try. So Nicol is going to amble into the reception committee without support. Salford City Reds fans urging some support from the team. Blakely, nice pass. Oh, that's good. Onto his foot from Baines, but it was a poor pass. Salford trying to move, but not really convincingly. And a fire's going. Holroyd, pushes one off. Working the short side. Littler's going. Nice over the top. Nicol back inside. Brown makes it his eventually. Holker, this is good running from the Salford City Reds. Broadbent straightens up in the middle. It was enterprising play, but the defence was matched for it. Now's a chance if Salford can get it this time. Where's the runners? Blakely bagged on the 6, looking to pass, and that was a great defensive period for the Blue Sox.
Well, Salford threw 10 or 11 passes together there and went nowhere. It looked good, but no result in the end. And the defence from Halifax was constantly on at the Salford players, which was forcing them to make the pass, which made the play look a bit more spectacular. Mercer, and this is the difference between the two teams at the moment. Halifax are carrying the ball with ease over the advantage line. Already they're over halfway on the last tackle. Moana to Dunneman. Dunneman dropping a kick in again between Pinkney and Broadbent. Well, if it goes towards Broadbent, there's no danger. He'll pick them out of the air all day.
Yeah, that was a brilliant take yet again, because the wind's doing things with the kick. Now, surely the referee has to count held. Broadbent carried backwards. Webber sets off on a little clearing run. Good it is too. But certainly the conciseness about the Blue Sox attack is better than the City Reds ones at the moment. And the hanging kick really putting Salford under pressure. Broadbent doing so well to take it cleanly for at least the 3rd time in this game. Now it's good. And Webber thinks the chance. Oh, what a pity. Good tackle though on Webber with Pinkney in support. Holroyd, nice pass to Blakely. Little kick over, but nobody really chasing that with any conviction. And ample time for that ball to be taken. Good chase though from Knight and Blakely. But again, the Blue Sox having the measure of the Salford attack, Darren.
Yeah, they're just that bit more active in defence at Halifax, moving up. To the credit, Salford are getting the passes away. Halifax have some willing runners carrying the ball forward, like Marnes. And Mercer, as he normally does, and he's done it again, spun away from 2, got the ball away to Moana. Moana's run into trouble and then released to Rowley. Dunneman down the middle of the field, looks for support. Cardis is there, chances here now, but Broadbent stands him up and makes a good tackle. Dunneman down behind Pinkney again for Bloom to chase, and Pinkney, watch it run dead. Bloom only just late there for the attempted flying dive at the try perhaps. But Salford turned round and forced back towards their own line again.
And it's thanks to Gary Broadbent, because it was his vital tackle that time which brought that Blue Sox attack to an end. The Blue Sox certainly the better of the two teams in this period of the game. First 20 minutes better in terms of what we're seeing from the rugby point of view. Greater movement from the Blue Sox, and also more importantly the score 8-6 to the Blue Sox. Oh, it was a good tackle again on Wainwright. Baines, big hit on him. Oh, he does well not to release the ball that time, Neil Baines, looking though to go forward all the time, still on his feet. That was good play from Neil Baines, receiving a big hit at the end. Holker's got Blakely and Holroyd. Nice pass on to Webber, but and he shrugs off one tackle. Can't get clear though, because the Blue Sox tackling is at a high level today. Salford City Red fan not happy with the going on in the tackle. Blakely's looking to, has to stop him. Now he's seen a chance. Now he's going. Now Blakely's going. Can he go on his own? Yes, he can. No, he can't. Yes, he can. Beat that support play. Fantastic. Steve Blakely returning to form. That's the Steve Blakely that we've seen from the Salford City Reds over many seasons. When he came back from his few games at Warrington, he seemed somehow to lack confidence, but then he saw the line, he created an opening from nothing, and just as the Blue Sox were getting the advantage, it was Malcolm Holker in support to score the Salford second try and restore their lead to them.
Oh dear. Well, great play from Salford.
Oh, he's starting to. No, he scored two last week, and just pleased to get the try. And it was Blakely's release of the ball that was so important in that as well, when it looked as though he evaded the first tackle. He was put down, but still got the ball away and restored the lead to the Salford City Reds. 12 points to 8. 2 tries apiece. Smith takes that one nicely and runs a long way and releases the ball, gets Salford in motion again. A fire. It's surprising really that so much of Salford attacking has been down the right, and a fire's pace still there to see. And there's Baines having a big game, gets on with it quickly. Brown onto Nichols pushing through, can't get the ball away that time. Fans in the shed not happy with something in the tackle. Wainwright run a long way before he gets the ball. Still, ball goes back on, interception, comes back to the Salford City Reds, and the referee is going to give the penalty. But he's given the penalty, and Halifax wanting to get on with it quickly. So what was a promising attack for the Reds comes to an end with the penalty to the Blue Sox. So he must have decided it was offside somehow.
Well, that looks as though, although I thought it might have been a double knock on that he called them back for. He was signalling that Halifax had actually got head and feed at the scrum. And I think they'll be more happy with a penalty as Goldspink drives towards that Salford line, brought down 9 metres away. Dunneman has Hobson running off the short ball at pace. Good defence again, Broadbent in, helping the Salford course. Cardiff back to Moana and then to Bloom, and Bloom has in the power, he's managed to get over. Integral little move there, because it looks as though the pass from Cardiff to Moana wasn't the best one, and even when Bloom got the ball, the try still had to be scored, and he managed to force his way over because he had a Salford defender hanging round him. So Halifax immediately replied to Salford. Well, you can't say it's not end-to-end stuff, can you?
I was just looking at the scoreboard. 25 minutes gone, and we've had 24 points, and it could have been 28 had the Halifax conversions been successful. Well, you could tell that was going over, because the Salford City Reds fans were quiet as soon as he struck it. And 14-12, Halifax restore their lead. So we're seeing a lot of points, Darren, aren't we? End-to-end stuff, an evenly balanced game. But I just feel Blue Sox have got the advantage somehow. They've got the initiative. They're playing the better of the two teams. How do you see it?
Well, I think they've probably had a lot harder training this week after the last 2 weeks' performances. And although the defence has allowed 2 tries from Salford, I think the fact that Gary Mercer's at the back of them, reminding them that the season's not over yet and there's still places to play for. Gibson sticks under one tackle, gets to the 40, then over halfway against Broadbent and stepped Broadbent when it was knocked off his balance. That's a great run from Gibson. That's the thing you'd normally see Cardis doing from deep in his own territory. One of his better runs there, Darryl Cardis, after Gibson had been tackled. Hasn't as much room to work in. Here goes Mercer. Oh, romping like a spring chicken, gives it to Moana. And Salford being pushed right back onto their own line. Florimo, Cardis takes it, Broadbent had seen it and clattered Cardis to the ground. Dunneman, Hobson running again, the dummy runner, but he's given crossing. Well, he went as a dummy runner, but I don't think Hobson was in a position to obstruct any Salford defender there. And considering that where Halifax started that last player 6, you could see how close the Salford defenders were, because Halifax finished up in the Salford 10-metre area.
Yeah, dummy running a routine part of the game these days, and that time the referee seen it as obstructing, and that was a let-off for the Salford City Reds, because Blue Sox certainly have upped this game, up the tempo. On good turn from Holroyd's come back into trouble though. And James Smith recovering from a knock. Blakely on quickly. With nice hands now. Nice. Oh, that's. Oh, and all of a sudden, from what could have been a potential Salford attack up that side, it's Blue Sox with a real chance.
Well, Blue Sox bringing it back again, but Marnes has lost it, so Salford will get it back. And Rowley and Alker are throwing punches in back play. Everybody's joining in. Gannon's continuing it. Well, it all started out of nothing because the ball had gone and the 2 hookers.
So is it eventually stopping the clock? Sure, it'll go on report at least.
If what he's done so far in the things that he's missed, he'll put it on report.
Yeah, and I think we can expect perhaps to see the couple of them in the sin bin, you would think at least. I don't think there was anything there to see anybody sent off, to you, or there was nothing for one side to be disadvantaged. And Stuart Littler is still hopeful that the play will continue from 10 yards forward from where he was being tackled. So that's a rarity these days, Darren, down here at the Whitlows. We have tightly fought games, and that's the first time I think we've seen some fisticuffs for quite a long time. Have you seen much fisticuffs this season?
No, just normal channelled aggression, I think they call it.
That's right, that's right. Channelled aggression. Oh, a card is coming out. Who is the card for? Let's have a look. It's for Rowley. That's the first one. Yellow card. Now, what's going to happen? So, is that the only one? Well, it's certainly a long card.
It's one for Alker as well.
So wait a minute. Yep, and Malcolm Alker as well. So 2 of them in the sin bin for fighting. So both teams getting equal treatment. And a reminder, as Darren put it, to keep the aggression in the channel. Although Rowley considered to be the first offender. So 31 minutes gone, 2 points in it.
Can't get away with it though. It's alright, but when you retaliate, that's your problem. It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. Oh, and the ball stolen. 2-1 at least, says the referee. The Blue Sox fans are not liking that. Paul Southern on the field for Neil Baines, the first Salford change. Not the second, because Tassel was replaced by Littler. So Salford with the opportunity to go forward again with this other penalty. And a real chance inside the 20. Great kick from Holroyd on the 10 to put the Blue Sox line under pressure. Paul Southern with the first charge in. How can Salford convert this position? Nichols going to try and go on his own. Well tackled by the Blue Sox. Blue Sox on the toes, talking to each other. Blakely. Broadbent, well wrapped up. Good tackle. Salford going right this time. Wainwright. Brown, good chance. A fire. Where's the inside pass? Where's the one? Oh, fantastic defence. Brilliant play from the Salford City Reds, but not just quite good enough from Webber to get over the line. Oh, that's a terribly mucky, messy one. Knock on given, and really, in that sort of situation, the Blue Sox can take the best credit, because under real pressure from the Salford attack, they come up with the putting at the scrum. Could be a critical part of the play, this one, that play, Darren. 14-12, could have been 18.
Yeah, it's end-to-end stuff. Yeah. Salford have been close on a couple of occasions, but they've only been denied due to the ferocity of the Halifax defence near the line. They've done it when it mattered. And so have Salford, of course, but I think you'd probably pick out Gary Broadbent more for saving Salford's line, for the way he takes the ball and doesn't shun the work. Gannon only needed support there, and nobody turned up. Dunneman across the Salford defence, out to Florimo. Good ball to Golden. Marvin Golden inside. Broadbent to beat. Loads of support from Dunneman. And Dunneman, well, that's a celebration of a man that doesn't score too many himself. Although he has got one or two. But it was always on there. Salford were hanging off. They let Dunneman, who started the move, really run across three defenders. Florimo drew in centre and winger, and Golden had acres of space in which to set off. And all he needed was the support, and it was there from the man that started the move, Dunneman, and Gibson if he needed him. Dunneman with a raised hand salute. Another 4 points. And again, end-to-end, Salford attacking. Good defence from Halifax.
So with 35 minutes gone, Bloom with his successful attempt, second one for him, extends the Halifax lead to 20 points to 12, and Salford have to find an extra gear, because today they don't have the bit of sparkle that we've seen in the last two matches down here, or the key cutting edge to convert the attacks into tries. So it's the scoreboard right down at the moment, is it? It's 20, isn't it? There it is, it's right now. So 20 points to 12, 4 minutes to half time.
Yeah, good effort from Halifax inside their own half. Dunneman, the creator and the scorer of that last try. As Blakely restarts with a long, deep kick. Gibson underneath, gives it inside to Mercer. Mercer charges the ball out, and I think that's the first time that Mercer's been put down without bouncing off the first or second tackler. Marvin Golden to the 20, and I think that was Marvin Golden's first touch of the ball, the one that set Andrew Dunneman on his way. And here goes Dunneman again, and he looked round for support as well before being brought down on the 30. Goal spink up the middle, and Halifax, even when they're not creating the gaps in the Salford defence, have people like Goldspink and Hobson here who drive the ball up, and Hobson will be up throwing punches. There's no doubt about that. Andy Hobson won't take a backward step, and he'll put his mark on anybody that decides to take him out above the shoulders. Gary Mercer telling him to calm down. Very experienced Andy Hobson, but still a young lad in terms of his rugby. He used to say props didn't reach the best till they were 29, 30, and we have a ladder to 20, 21 who can mix it with the best of them, that is for sure. And 3 minutes left on the clock, and perhaps another chance for Halifax here. Here goes Hobson again, charging into that Salford defence. And I think that's channeled aggression from Hobson that we were talking about earlier, as Mercer says, put it in the right place, and he did then with that run. Gibson joining up from full-back, disappearing under 3-5 metres away from the Salford line. Moana in an acting half, Goldspink with a big drive after the pass from Dunneman, releases it to Moana. Halifax still going forward, Moana continuing where Goldspink left off, being driven back and dropping the ball out the back. Hobson went over, but I'm not sure whether Moana was actually facing his own post then. I think that's what he's trying to explain to the referee. The referee's immediately awarded the penalty.
Well, the penalty for talking, but Salford certainly a let-off, because the ball did seem to have come backwards, however it came backwards, because it would have been a try. No, Paul Southern trying to clear the lines. Nicol, nobody with him at all. Salford not sharp going forward. Certainly the urgency in the first half has all been with Halifax. James Smith, and that's good tackling, throwing him back. Blakely. All right. Oh, that was obstruction. If it was first off, then that was. And Salford need to regroup quickly, because a quick tap could see the initiative with the Blue Sox. So crossing, penalty for the Blue Sox. And are they going to go for the other two? Bloom's there. I think they, yes they are, they're going to go for, right, 40 minutes is up, so sensible play to see if they can get 2 more points before the half-time hooter.
Well, no, they were not normally complimentary about referees, but I think you've got to compliment this one on the fact that he's obviously not had a lot of Super League experience, and he hasn't picked up on a lot of things that other referees would have, and therefore he's contributed to what has been a fast, open, flowing game. Brett Goldspink's off to the blood bin, replaced by Stephen Holgate, who might just get time in what's left to watch Bloom kick the goal. Well, pull it to the right hand side and dropped a bit short, so Holgate might get a piece of the action, but I think the 40 minutes are up now.
Yep, Salford trying to move it quickly now though. Broadbent though, well tackled. And Salford willing to move this ball from any position in this ground. Nicol onto Webber. Webber can't break the tackle. Pinkney was up in support. Brown to Smith, but there's a tenacity about this Blue Sox team, isn't there? They're really going for this one. They're really up for this one.
Well, it's let it go again there.
And that might have been a penalty. A little kick over. Blakely's chasing, but there's good cover coming in. Oh, and the ball bounces badly. Dropped. Salford will have the put in, but we're well into injury time now. Little change of tactics. Saying to take an ace. Who was it who let it bounce? Yeah. But time not on Salford's side in this first half if they're going to get back into it. 20 points to 12. Right on the stroke of half time. Little kick through. Now can Afire get there? Afire's going, and yes he can. And right on the stroke of half time, Afire has shown that pace that we all know is legendary in rugby league. It was well conceived move. Mike Wainwright took the ball from the scrum onto Holroyd, and his kick was just to perfection, stayed in play nicely, sat up for a fire, he's pasted the rest, and that really has brought Salford back into it just on the stroke of half-time. But it's Blue Stocks still with the lead, and Steve Blakely with the conversion attempt from the most difficult position right by the touchline.
Blakely finds a mark with this one, which he has. Brilliant kick from Blakely, and Salford are right back in it on the outer for half-time.
Yeah, that's a fantastic conversion from Steve Blakely, right on the touchline, right between the sticks, even with the wind against him, and that is the lifeline that Salford needed half-time. 18 points to 20 down. So Blue Sox have been much better than the 2 points in the score. They've scored 4 tries to Salford 3, and but Salford's still very much in this game. So players out. Bloom's got the ball on the spot and kicked off so quickly. Smith makes that safely his and sets off to the 20 and immediately drops the ball, and immediately Salford under pressure.
Well, that'll be just what Gary Mercer wants, and no doubt from this position he'll probably want the 6 points as well that Halifax surrendered very easily in overtime in the first half with a kick through for a fighter touchdown. Goldspink charging on, driving towards that line, just can't turn around to get the ball either down for the try or release a pass to one of his teammates. Dunneman, gap opens up, Dunneman went for it, good tackling, I think it's Mike Wainwright. Florimo pushing a man off and spinning, driving towards the line, held on the line, good defence from Salford. It needed to be after the mistake from the kick-off.
Yeah, fantastic defence. It really was looking bad for them when Smith lost the ball, but that was a brilliant 6 on defence from the Salford City Reds. Long way to go though, but important not to concede a try right at the start of the second half, and that's what they've done, not conceded a try. Great defence against the Blue Sox attack. Now looking to move it. Nicol, nice release of the ball to Webber. Webber though can't strike clear. Bloom makes sure he's put down. And Brown takes it up. Nice pass on to James Smith. And a release to Blakely. Now there's a chance over the top to Fire. Fire takes it. Now Fire's running. Can't though elude his tacklers. Good tackle out there, but good enterprising play from the Salford City Reds. Holroyd, little kick over. The chasers are there. Pinkney's there. Oh, but that was well taken by the Blue Sox on defence. So both teams back to full strength. We haven't said. Holker back on for the Salford City Reds.
Rowley tying his boat up for Halifax. On the 40, shouts for the forward pass to Mercer, who's trying to drive forward. Eventually put down by Paul Southern. Goldspink put the shoulder down, got rid of the first tackler, but the ball was clamped so that Goldspink couldn't release the pass. Rowley away from acting half, found a bit of an opening and gets over the 30, last tackle. Back to Dunneman. Dunneman again, testing Pinkney. Pinkney loses it backwards, Marnes chases it, and a dive from Webber puts the ball into touch, and it's saying it came off Halifax player. But I think Pinkney's claiming that Halifax knocked it on. Webber's claiming that Halifax knocked it on. But I think Pinkney knocked it back and Webber just got to it before Oliver Marnes did there.
But it's Halifax with another good 6 on the Salford 10.
Yeah, they'll be looking for the points this time. They'll need a big defensive effort. Cardis round the outside, followed well by Broadbent. Florimo from acting half, thought about the pass, went on his own. Blakely dragged him down. Halifax still on the 10 with men over on this side. Gannon to Moana to Gibson. Gibson bringing Marnes back on the inside. Marnes pumping the legs, we can get him within 2 metres of the Salford line. Moana's at the acting half to Dunneman. Goldspink running on strongly, but too much traffic there for Goldspink, as he's wrapped up and finally knocked to the ground by Broadbent. Threw himself in. Cardis, well taken by Florimo. Florimo away to Marvin Golden, and Golden won't score because the referee has called the forward pass. Halifax knew they had the advantage on the far side because Goldspink had drawn 4 men in towards the post, and the Salford defence moved out, but saved by the forward pass.
Yeah, saved indeed. All the pressure in the first 4 minutes of this second half coming from the Blue Sox. James Smith being replaced by Neil Baines. Smith, some suggestion he wasn't fully fit for this one, but certainly Blue Sox have continued this second half where they were in the first half as the better of these two teams, as Webber does so well to almost stride clear, and Bloom penalised for impinging at the play of the ball, and the Salford City Reds fans happy about that. Bloom saying, I think, that it was 1-1 and he was going for the ball. But that was a good relieving run from Webber. And Salford under the rack in this second half. Baines, though, shrugs off his first tackler. Southern goes forward, but Blue Sox on the toes today defensively and with the lead. Bang going forward with pace and purpose into the Blue Sox 30. Salford's first attack of this second half. Holroyd looking for his runners, can't find any, comes back inside, still sells the dummy. Nice little play from Holroyd, tantalising, but at the end of it receiving a knock and an injury. It was innocuous enough tackle.
I think he went down on his back when he went over the top of Gannon there,
and just stops the momentum from the Salford attack. But that doesn't matter when a player's down injured. It's the injury that's more important to have a look at. But it will be a big loss to Salford if Holroyd can't continue. He's on his feet, thankfully. And looks as though he's going to be able to run it off. Salford City Reds fans pleased about that, applauding that. Blakely to Wainwright. It's the last one now, Salford in the 20. Blakely. Get through for Blakely. And already, is that Cardiff setting off on a run? Gibson.
Yeah, Halifax have a reserve full-back after Cardiff moved up to stand off. Damien Gibson signed, of course, as a full-back from Leeds, and it is his preferred position. Mercer running out wide, taking men with him, gives it to Marvin Golden. Golden bundled to the ground by 3. Cardis, a long pass to Dunneman, a long pass to Moana. Moana brings Bloom back on the inside. Bloom against Webber and gets the ball out despite 3 tacklers. Dunneman takes it from Gibson. Dunneman sets off, Moana in support, couldn't get it. Moana would have been marked by Webber. Last tackle. Cardis shows for the kick and then releases the pass. Rowley loses it, and then Salford pick it up, and he's going to give the knock on, but it's the last tackle, so it'll be a turnover and Salford possession on the 40.
Wow, vital tackle from Nick Pinkney, saving what could have been a try for the Blue Sox. So the Salford defence hanging on. Olka onto a fire to Broadbent, as well to juggle with it, and still got the ball to Blakely. Blakely to a fire oh, it's his fancy play from the Salford City Reds. Webber pushes one off, still tries to go forward, but finally put down. Enterprising play from the Salford City Reds. Nickel all forward. I think the ball was was, it was so far forward it squirmed out as if it had been pushed out almost. But it's the Blue Sox defending well. 8 minutes, frantic 8 minutes to the start of the second half. The first score in the second half could be so important. It would certainly 2 points lead for the Blue Sox. Another 6 to them would make it difficult for Salford to get back into it.
They're both teams playing the opening 8 minutes like it's the last 8 minutes and there's a 2 points difference. Forcing the pass, trying to keep the ball alive. Tackling desperately. Bloom trying to shrug defenders off. I'll get rid of him. Just short of halfway. Goal spink to Dunneman, who stopped and took the tackle. Halifax again bunched in numbers in the centre of the field as Mercer drives up towards the 40. Goal spink, pumping the legs, driving up towards the 30. Last tackle up, good defence from Salford. Halifax have numbers on this left hand side here. Moana's bringing it over a bit further, then finds a bit of a gap. Desperate tackle on Wainwright, but Moana has been penalised because the ball carrying arm touched the ground, and so there'll be a turnover.
Yep. So if that was the tackle completed, why wasn't it a penalty? It's a fair point from Darren. But Salford have the possession and importantly have defended another 6 against the Blue Sox attack. And Alker tries to take it forward. To Holroyd. Holroyd onto Nicol. No, Nicol had the ball forced out of his hands, it seemed, but no, Blue Sox snap it up and in broken play, looking dangerous.
Well, we seem to have hold of the ball very tightly there. Nicol, goal spinks going off on the far side. Stephen Holgate will come on for the Halifax Blue Sox. Jamie Bloom has got away from 2, and then he's put down on the 40. Rowley to Mercer. Mercer to Dunneman. Dunneman only half expecting it, I think, and a wild pass, and the chip on. Gibson goes back to collect it for the Blue Sox, and a fire up to tackle him. Halifax will get 6 more. It was a terrible pass in the first place. Marvin Golden fancies a race with a fire and wins it, only to be brought down by Wainwright. Rowley quickly away from acting half. Good pass to Florimo. Florimo to Hobson. Straightens up down the middle and he's taken off his feet. He's tackled by Baines and Nicol, I think it is. Gannon off the inside, couldn't get the pass away. Rowley up quickly from acting half again. Short ball off to Gannon. Trying to shrug off the tacklers. Rowley to Dunneman. Referee with a hand in there for the last tackle. Cardis tried to get it away to Hobson, who lost his footing. Dunneman, the hand's still in the air. It's come off a Salford player. That'll be a knock on. A bit rash there from Webber. If he'd have looked and seen the last tackle, perhaps he might have thought twice about going for that one. It's just going to put more pressure on the Salford line.
Yeah, Salford have had to go do a lot of defending in this first 12 minutes of this half, under pressure most of the time. And I haven't actually seen the referee raise his arm as though it was the last tackle, but he had he? Yeah. Anyway, it's more Blue Sox pressure.
Still trying to make it tell with Moana. Mercer just there too late for the pass. Rolling quickly at acting half. Hobson pumping towards the line. Brought down a metre away. Rowley. Dunneman lets it bounce. Then goes back the other way. Dunneman shrugging tacklers off. Is Dunneman losing ground? And he's eventually started about 8 metres away and finished up 15 metres away. Clattered to the ground with a big tackle. Florimo driving forward, takes Halifax back to the 10. Nicely flipped up by Rowley. Cardis goes for the line. Cardis can't stretch out. Last tackle again. Rowley out to Bloom. Bloom chips one through. Come off a Salford player, but is he going to say that the Salford man played for it? The last tackle turnover, so Salford Strong in defence again.
Yes, strong in defence and needing to be, but under pressure and really withstanding it so well in this opening 13 minutes of this second half. Really great effort from them. But 2 points is the deficit from the Salford City Reds' point of view. Wainwright. Oh, loses the ball, gets it back, says the referee. That was a fortunate bounce for them, for the Salford City Reds. Blakely thinks he's seen an opening, nearly did. Tackling on him good though. So Broadbent to Webber. Takes the tackle, comfortable. Nicol ambles, it seems. Can't punch his way through, so it's a change on Salford time. Wainwright replaced by Heighton. Webber, little kick through. Oh, now that is going to be
15 minutes gone in the second half. Gibson's moved up to the stand-off position. Still can't find a hole in that Salford defence. Mercer turns it back inside to Holgate. Well, he just gets over the 40 before being put down. Hobson. Heavy traffic down the middle. Nicol and Baines putting him down. Cardis gives it to Dunneman. Dunneman looking for a bit of a gap. Salford much more alert in defence in this second half than they were in defence. Mind you, they're having a lot of practice. They've not had a lot of possession. Rowlett, last tackle. Florimo back on the inside. Broadbent, easy meat for Broadbent, out of the air that one.
Well, Broadbent always makes it look easy. We sometimes take it for granted, but he's been faultless today on defence as Nicol tries to go forward. So this defensive effort, it could well be taking it out of the Salford City Reds from the stamina point of view. Oh, that looked a dangerous tackle on Heighton. Olker, no way through for him. Blue Sox still on their toes. Southern takes it up the middle. Oh, fans not happy about something in that tackle. Salford still getting on with it. Little kick over. Oh, but that was comfortably taken that time.
Well taken by Marnes on a bit of a run back to the 40. Good tackle from Alker. Done from Marnes. He'd fought a knock on, messing about there, but Marnes play a scrappy play the ball. I'm not sure he touched it with his foot, but I'm not sure there was a knock on either.
I didn't see any knock on at all. It was a sloppy play the ball. Other referees might have seen that as Salford interference, but a decision certainly going the way of the Salford City Reds. So a change on the Halifax side, and it's Savilio coming on. It's good to see Savilio back down here at the Willows. Had a couple of excellent seasons in Salford's first division days in the mid-90s. Webber straightens up. Littler goes on his own. Three men put him down. Halifax all offside this side by Miles. Miles and Miles offside, and ferocious tackling on Heighton. Offside again. Good pass on to Nicol, gets on to Webber. Webber sensibly draws men inside. Good play from him. The cover was coming across for Pinkney. Brown onto Blakely. Onto Heighton. Heighton's pushing his way forward. It's the last one. Now can Salford convert this position? Oh, good flowing rugby. Webber hangs on to it. Still keeps going, ball dot down. And Salford lose possession. Good defence from the Blue Sox.
Well, good defence from both sides in this second half so far. I think Webber just trying to release it, last tackle in desperation. Savelio up the middle. Not the ideal position for Halifax, although they've spent most half in the Salford half of the field doing the attacking. Holgate driving it up. Last tackle. Dunneman, well, I don't know if he was looking at the touchline, but nowhere near it. It's forced Broadbent back. Chase has to be good. Pinkney inside him. Taking the safe option into Moana and Bloom for the tackle. And Pinkney will have to go on his own because there's nobody back for Salford yet. Bloom trying to take the ball one-on-one, but the reinforcements quickly there for the Blue Sox.
Dave, Salford needing Olka now to... 3 tackles on the trot for Bloom. He's a gritty player, great persistence and stamina. That's 4, yeah. In fact, he's going to do all the 6 himself then. Would that be a record? Holroyd, sensibly kicking deep. Not going to find touch though, and Halifax in possession again.
Gibson away from 2. Back up to the 30 and over before being brought down. It's a good return from Damien Gibson. Dunneman off the short ball over the 40. And Goldspink's back on for Gannon. Marvin Golden almost away from acting half. Only just enough to bring him down. Rowley now goes from acting half. Rowley trying to take advantage of the 10-metre defence there. Goldspink immediately into the action. Last tackle. Rowley from acting half, chipping it through. He'll have to go on his own because nobody following. So Rowley against a fire, and a fire easily brought down by Paul Rowley.
Yeah, that's how he was, too easily, yes. But Salford rescued the situation. Still no tries in the second half. 2 points the lead for the Blue Sox. Nicol tries to power his way out of defence. Webber trying to do the same, but 3 defenders put him down. Baines works it forward. Salford have used the 6 tackles still inside their own half. No, they're not. The only chance to run it on, a real chance for Pinkney. Pinkney, a little kick over. The chase is on. Halifax covers there, but who gets it? Now that's going to be off. Has to be played. Who's going to play it? Oh, referee says it's all right. Oh, surely that was an offside in front decision and a big tackle by Alker.
Well, interesting there because Oliver Martin stood and looked at the touch judge and the referee and said, "Can I play it?" And both of them said, "Yeah, of course you can." So
he did.
But it ended with a thumping tackle. Man's being turned upside down. And just stretching the neck to make sure everything's still in place as Savelio loses the ball, but that'll be a penalty. Salford fans on the far side who seem to think Savelio perhaps dropped the ball there.
Well, it's been a cracking second half, hasn't it? End-to-end like the first, but without the scores, and in this attack, let's hope it stays that way.
There's 22 minutes gone. I think we'd had 20 or 24 points by this stage in the first half. We haven't had some close calls, but nothing positive yet on the scoreboard for the second half as Goldspink's brought down again. And now Holgate to scream for the forward pass again. Ball went backwards. Holgate, well, I don't know if he tried to release it or whether it was squeezed out as he went down. But of course, that's the danger of the way these two teams are playing rugby, is that there's going to be a lot of mistakes as both balls try to keep both teams try to keep the ball alive, and they both tackling ferociously.
Yeah, very impressed with the Salford stamina today. Well, not just today, but certainly the work rate is having to be outstanding as Fire's pushed back during the tackle. Webber's doing a lot of work as well, but Salford just resting for a minute, and you're and the Blue Sox aren't. The Blue Sox have gone up a defensive notch. Gary Mercer's certainly winding his team up, making sure they retain this lead. And the referee's going to bring that one back for a penalty with 4 men round him. Neil Baines losing the ball, so change on the Salford side. Neil Baines goes off, Paul Southern goes off, James Smith and Mike Wainwright return for the last 15 minutes to see if they can provide that little bit of magic to break this Blue Sox defence in this second half. James Smith with his first run since returning, immediately in the action. 2 dummy runners there for the Salford City Reds. Holroyd thankfully recovered from that earlier knock. Nicol appears to handle, then he thinks he's seen. Now he has. Now can he go all the way? Can he go? Can he go? Yes, he can. Fantastic solo effort from Jason Nicol. Brilliant, just what Salford needed. They've tattled their hearts out for the first 25 minutes of this second half, and with perhaps only the second real attack, when it looked as though there was nothing on, Jason Nicol, with his deceptive style ambling forward, suddenly saw a gap, accelerated his pace and momentum, taking him over to give Salford the lead. Blakely 100% again this game.
Cold.
Yeah. So Salford City Reds fans are singing, and who can blame them? 24-20 in the lead, 14 minutes on the clock, and Bloom gets the Blue Sox underway. And so Gary Broadbent controls the ball well. Littler and James Smith, big hit on him. Blue Sox tattled so well, as have the Salford City Reds. Wainwright still on his feet. No, not now. Olker's going forward on his own. Can't quite release the ball, so it's the 6th tackle already. Blakely's running forward with time and pace. Kicks it forward, puts pressure on the defender. Ball's running and running, has to be played, and Littler makes a fantastic chase and a fantastic tackle to put his man down behind the try line. Brilliant bit of play from Stuart Littler, and in the end he had support from both Blakely and Fire, and that maintains this Salford forward attacking momentum. So the Salford City Reds fans singing. 24-20 in the lead, a game that is still anybody's, could go either way. So that's a big kick. Comfortable is Gary Broadbent, and there's James Smith going the long way round into his reception committee, and Nick Pinkney always going forward, but this time the referee's going to adjudge that was a knock on. No, we're getting a penalty. Now with the penalty for interference at the play of the ball, Blakely will surely go for the 2 points, I would think. The referee quite clear about that. Blakely will go, I'm sure will go for the attempt at goal. Two points could be so important here, because it would mean that even with a try, Halifax would have to convert to level. But not an easy kick. This wind is blowing erratically, and it is, as Darren was just saying, the same position that Bloom missed 2 from in the first half. Nichols come up with so many good tries for Salford this season. A couple against Warrington helped to turn Salford's season round a little bit. And Blakely strikes that one coolly, precisely, smoothly, and more importantly, right through the centre of the sticks. Extends Salford's lead to 6 points with about 11 minutes to go. So it's get on it. Oh, who's going to let it bounce? Hine let it bounce. Unfortunately, it was bounced safely. And I thought carrying players back was illegal. I didn't think you could lift them off the ground. Well, James Smith. Yeah, but 3 players can always lift one and carry him length of the field. Oh, nice release of the ball to Olker. No more support for Olker, but valuable ground forward made by the City Reds. Littler, though, well and truly put down. Salford very narrow. So Holroyd going for the kick. But well taken.
Halifax have possession. Gibson through 2. Gibson still going, brushing away Pinkney. Gibson eventually tracked by Webber on the 40, but another good kick return from Damien Gibson has put Halifax on the attack. And they need to pull something out as Cardiff goes for the gap. Defence gets back and Cardiff eventually wrapped up and put down. With men over on that far side then at Halifax. Hobson is back on. Rowley quickly from acting half. Alka slowing him down from an offside position, and Rowley ankle tapped, and it's that man Broadbent again that saved the Salford line. Moana gets it away to Florimo, and a fire's in the way of the pass to Golden, but they drop out under the post.
Forward pass through. Fire interception. So a fire interception, a pass that could have been a try-scoring pass for the Blue Sox. And like you said, Darren, Gary Broadbent having a stormer today defensively, maybe emerging as Salford's man of the match, and a fire preventing that try. Blue Sox fans obviously wanting Holroyd to get on with it quickly because their team are behind. So big drop out, big kick out. Bloom takes it well.
Halifax have 40 metres to go as Bloom takes the ball and takes it up to the 30, back towards that Salford line. Wild pass from Rowley, and they're going to shout for a forward pass. No decision forthcoming from touch judges or referee. Florimo driving forward, gets it back to Rowley. Rowley out to Golden. Golden skipping back inside through the tacklers and put down on the 10. Halifax have men over on the left if they move the ball out quick enough. Dunneman, long ball out to Marnes. Marnes for the corner, will beat Pinkney, get the ball down. The flag was touched, says Webber, but I think you'll find it was Pinkney's foot that knocked the flag as he tried to take Marnes down. No problem for Oliver Marnes. And he had one like that a couple of weeks ago that could have won the game against St Helens in slightly more adverse conditions than this one. But he took that one sweetly from Dunneman, and they were always left wanting on the outside with Salford there as Halifax drove to the middle. Dunneman again running across the face of the Salford defence. Long ball out wide, and Marnes in at the corner to leave Bloom. Well, not his most favourite kick, but kicked one from 40 metres at Castleford last week. Not much on the flags on the field. Bloom launches it, has it enough behind it, and it's dropped over the post. What a kick from Jamie Bloom. Well, 6 minutes to go, back square one.
is...
And 26 points all.
Yeah, which is exactly the same score Salford had against Leeds this time last week, in almost not quite the same period on the clock, but not much difference. And we've had a tremendously close game, and we've got a frantic last 5 minutes coming up. If there's a score, next score you can imagine is the one that's going to settle it.
Well, it may be so, but it's got to be scored yet. But the 26 points all, 5 minutes to go. Long straight kick down the middle from Blakely, taken by Gibson, who's set Halifax off on towards that last try with a kick return from the last tackle. Gannon up to the 30, rolling in quickly at the acting half position, gets it away to Hobson. Hobson pumping the legs up to the 40. Rowlett using the short side, then stepping back inside, gives it to Hobson again, and Hobson is turned over and driven to the ground by two Salford defenders, Hyton and Alka. Dunneman to Goldspink. Goldspink trying to stand in the tackle, and Cardis is very near to Dunneman. You could see perhaps a chip coming over the top here for Cardis to chase, and there it is, but just too much on it, and Halifax will have to defend. But you could see that move coming with Cardis being stood about 3 yards away from Dunneman.
Yeah, kick just a bit too long for him, and Darren Brown back on the field rescued it. So who's got that something special to win this game? Both these teams have played the game at a frantic pace. The stamina of these guys is so impressive, and the commitment and their attitude. Mike Wainwright hangs on to it. Oh, Matt Fire. Nice over the top ball. Jason Nicol lets it bounce. Looks to try and release the ball inside, couldn't quite make it. It's the last one already. Right, what's the Salford ploy here? Well, I think it's just happy to keep it going. Little kick over into the middle of the field. Blakely miles offside, but still chasing for it, but goes safely to a Halifax hand, and great pace. And if tackles aren't made, then there's a try on from anywhere.
Well, that's where Cardis is used to scoring them from, in the full-back position. Gibson out to Florimore. 2-on-2 on that far side. Florimore can't hold off the tackler. 3 minutes remaining. Golden inside to Gibson. Big mistake from Gibson.
Well, Jason Nicol, no reason not for him to be man of the match. Big contribution, and importantly the try that gave Salford the lead, or recovered the lead for them in this second half. And now with 2 minutes to go, Salford have the advantage of the put-in at this scrum 30 metres from the Blue Sox line. Now, is a victory, and is something possible? Who's going to go for a drop? Jason Nicol's going to take it forward. Now, is Blakely going to do it? Are we going to go for a try? Blakely changes the angle, releases the ball to Brown, to a Fire. A Fire goes for the drop, and a Fire gets the drop. The fans love that one, and of all people, it's Martin a Fire. His second drop goal for the club. The first one was against the Bulls, but the game is still to be won. A Fire's getting back in position quickly, but 1 point from Martin a Fire on his left foot. Well, I thought it might have been Blakely who lined himself up, but great confidence. Oh, look at this kick off straight away so quickly. And who's got that? The Blue Sox have got it, and pressure on the Salford line now.
Mercer goes down, gets back up again, has another go. 39th minute, and again Halifax have men over on this left-hand side. Goldspink drives it up. So will Halifax reply with a drop goal, or will they go for the power play and snatch the lead at the death? Dunneman stepping back inside, turn the Sox down. Florimore backing up well, holds off one tackler, then gets the ball away to Bloom. Bloom is all wrapped up, and there's a knock-on being given against Florimore. So that should be the game for Salford, I think. Bloom kicks the ball away in frustration. Clock still stuck on 39 minutes, but Salford aren't going to rush to play this out.
Oh, what a fantastic finale to the game. Salford, it's so much improved over the last few matches that the memory of that disaster at Odsal Stadium, that record defeat, being forgotten. As we've seen yet another concise performance. Right, the clock stopped. Now can Salford just play out these last 6 tackles? Nothing silly. What's going on in the scrum? Hodson's got his head down. Scrum reforms. Gary Broadbent sensibly just takes the tackle and a knock in the bargain. Wainwright, oh, look at the tackling from the Blue Sox in this last minute of the game. Littler, big hits on him. Salford, the tackles going so quickly. Blue Sox up quickly from their defensive starting box. There's a fire, runs a long way cross field. Oh, and then surely, there, it doesn't matter, there's the final whistle, and Salford City Reds have won their 5th game out of 6 in the most dramatic style. The players are delighted about that. They were under the cosh for much of the second half, but they withstood the best of the Blue Sox's attack, and at the end of it, Martin Afire comes up with a drop goal in 2 minutes at the end of the game. Fabulous game, Darren. No, not for the Blue Sox maybe, but for the Salford City Reds in their position in the league, to come up with a 2 points for the league with a 1 point victory is a fabulous result for them. Do you want to say anything, Darren? Well, I've enjoyed it. You do when you win. The 5th victory out of 6 games. Saints next week, and who's to say that there isn't an upset on the cards?